Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor coming at you with another Bitcoin focused episode. So, today I want to talk about what's been going on with the Bitcoin price, Bitcoin losing key support, and also what traders are thinking and what my plans are going to be regarding this latest fall in Bitcoin. And if you're interested in seeing that and more, check out my channel and also follow me on X and also on Threads for the most up-to-date information when it comes to TA and my thoughts in the market. So Bitcoin has had a hell of a day, frankly, over today and yesterday and the day prior to that. We've seen three large red candles here, and now the Bitcoin price is kind of hovering in that $57,000 range. It's currently in this green support band that I've put up here, and the support band is vital to maintaining the uptrend that Bitcoin started back in February. If this support trend here is lost, then it's very likely we'll wind up seeing Bitcoin go down to about 52, from 52 to about 50K or so. That's the next region of support that we're looking at. In fact, let me just go ahead and draw this out. So 52, and then here at about 50. That would be the next big major support band. Now, another thing that's going on right now is that Bitcoin has lost the 200-day EMA, and that's this blue line, this blue curvy line right here that I've put up. And the reason why this is important is because Bitcoin has held this 200-day line ever since. Let me go all the way back here. Ever since the October of 2023, and in Bitcoin's history, it rarely goes below this line. In fact, if we take a look at just the past year, we can see here that we had maybe a couple of months in 2023 when it was below that, and March 2023, and then mostly a lot of the bear market here, the bear market action that we saw back in 2022. But normally, especially if you go all the way back in Bitcoin's history, this line right here has signified an attractive place to buy Bitcoin, especially during an uptrend. And so, especially when we take a look at the past couple of couple of years, we can see here that buying below this trend line right here has actually resulted in some fantastic and cheap Bitcoin prices. So this is an absolutely vital line. This is one of the most important lines to look at, along with the 200 weekly and the 200 daily right here is what we're looking at right now. This is vital, and quite frankly, Bitcoin losing this support is, I think, even more important than losing the green support band that I outlined there. So we've seen massive amounts of selling, especially on a holiday for those of us in the U.S., and we've seen a large amount of FUD and fear enter the Bitcoin markets. And if you take a look at our fear and greed index, we can see here that the fear is actually set to 32, and so we're actually very close here to extreme fear, very, very close. If we back this out, their chart they have here, the last time we were anywhere close to extreme fear was back in August of 2023, which was an excellent time to buy Bitcoin. Back then, that's actually when I made one of my largest purchases of Bitcoin, was back in August of 23, and we are kind of carefully approaching this extreme fear region. Now, this is an absolutely fantastic indicator that I use a lot of the time to see what the market is feeling right now. And so far, we've seen a large amount of fear, and soon, if the trend continues, we will see extreme fear. Now, if we take a look at exchange reserve, which is the number of Bitcoin on exchanges, we can see here that we've seen in the past couple of days, past couple of weeks until about June 24th, we've seen a large amount of Bitcoin enter the exchanges. In fact, it's over 20,000 Bitcoin entering the exchanges here from the bottom here all the way to where we are right now. So 20,000 Bitcoin worth of selling basically entering these exchanges. Now, another thing that I always like to pay attention to is the Bitcoin spot ETF net inflows and those have been actually negative for the past couple of days. After turning positive for almost a week, we started to see outflows from these Bitcoin spot ETFs. So it appears as though people are selling Bitcoin spot ETFs as a whole right now over the past couple of days. And I expect that when markets reopen tomorrow, we're going to see an even larger amount of selling going on as traditional investors react to the major price action that we've had today. Now, on the other hand, we've seen large buying from whales. So, we take a look at Bitcoin balances for whale addresses within the last 24 hours. We can see here that on the 2nd of June, we've seen a large increase in the number of these coins owned by major whales. So, we're starting to see some whale buys and some whale sales. But this specific metric that I'm tracking is mostly showing a more of accumulation for whales that are active within 24 hours, and we'll have to see how this turns out from the 3rd and the 4th. When that data comes in, I'll be sure to get you that. Now, one of the reasons why we've seen Bitcoin fall below that key 60K level and now threaten that 200-day EMA is because of some Mt. Gox distribution. So Charles Edwards here on X posted this Bitcoin spent volume lifespan between 7 and 10 years of Bitcoin. So essentially what's happening here is they're saying that this is incredibly old Bitcoin that hasn't moved in 7 to 10 years. And so they're pointing out here that there is a large amount of this volume all of a sudden, this huge spike. So old Bitcoin right now is on the move. And the idea here is that it's actually the Mt. Gox repayment. So back in the day, Mt. Gox was one of the only Bitcoin exchanges. It got hacked, and then the funds were recovered, and now they're going to be distributed among the victims. And the fear here is that the victims will be selling Bitcoin. So they point out here that there's about $9 billion worth of volume here moving from old coins. All right, so this is something to definitely watch out for. It was suspected that the distributions would begin in July, so this could potentially be a weight on the Bitcoin price for the month of July. But after that, I think that I think that there's at least a possibility that people who just got their Bitcoin, who have been through this repayment system, may not necessarily sell it, but there is going to be some that sell for sure. So this is going to be something that I'm going to be watching out for in the month of July. Now, if you take a look at our liquidations, just total crypto liquidations, we can see here that over the past couple of days, over the 2nd and the 3rd of July, total crypto liquidations from longs have hit massive levels. We're looking at almost $200 million on the 2nd and almost $300 million on the 3rd. So longs have been getting absolutely destroyed. And as I'm about to show you in a minute, at least for futures contracts, these longs keep coming into the cycle because they're basically opening up these contracts, and they're opening up more as the Bitcoin price goes down. But if you take a look at just Bitcoin, we can see here that for the 2nd, it was about $46 million, and for the 3rd, it was about $90 million worth of long liquidations over the past 2 days. Now, if we take a look at those futures contracts I was talking about before, you can kind of see this play out for your futures. And down here in the open interest, that's the number of total open contracts. We can see that it's been increasing since about the 28th of June. So there's been a lot more activity, a lot more volatility here since the 28th of June. And now we can see that as the price goes down, we can compare that with the number of contracts that are being opened. So more contracts are being opened as the price falls. And on top of that, we take a look at the funding rates. We can see those are green. So longs right now are still dominant. Longs are still in charge. They're paying a premium to shorts to maintain their position. So as Bitcoin is falling, you're seeing more of these positions being opened up, and they're mostly all long positions. Now, this means that as these increase, there's a possibility that they could get liquidated in the future if the Bitcoin price continues to fall, which is basically what it's doing right now. Now, on the other side of that, I want to take a look at the options. Now, what's really interesting about options is that there's a large amount of options that are set to expire tomorrow on the 5th of July. We actually have down here almost $1 billion worth of options set to expire, $600 million worth of calls, and about $400 million worth of puts set to expire, with a max paying price of 62,000. So we can kind of expect that with 62,000, that's the kind of goal of what they're trying to push the Bitcoin price to. So 62K by tomorrow seems unlikely to me. So this is probably not going to happen, but it is an interesting thing to take a look at. And this had a possibility, I think, of happening before the past 2 days in which we saw such a huge drop in the Bitcoin price. Now, again, if we take a look at the largest expiry for July, that's the 26th, the max paying price is still set at 64K. And so I think it's actually very possible we could get a 64K Bitcoin price by the end of July. I think that's actually very realistic. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the HODL waves for Bitcoin. Now, HODL waves show you the age cohorts for Bitcoin, so how much each wallet basically has held Bitcoin for, and then this compares it to the percent of supply. So we can see here that these large bumps are previous all-time highs for Bitcoin, the peak of the bull markets, and like here in 2018, here in 2021. Now, one thing that's very interesting about this is that usually when it gets to those regions near the all-time highs or near the bull market tops, you can see here that in this case, the 3-month to 140-day cohort, people who have held Bitcoin for that long, have actually gone up to about, I think it's about 30% or so of supply here in this case, and in 2018 it was above 40%. We're only at about 20% of that supply. So the TLDR of this is that this bull market is still very young. It is still very fresh and new. And I don't think we're anywhere near the top of the current bull market. So my current plans right now are, if the market was open today, I would have been buying IBIT or the Bitcoin spot ETF. If Bitcoin continues to sell off for today and we break through the support channel right here, I'm definitely going to be considering actually buying more Bitcoin through the exchanges, or I will consider buying more IBIT tomorrow when the market's actually open. I'm going to be buying the dip on this on Bitcoin, and that's my plan because I'm planning on holding long term. But I'm in no rush because my Bitcoin allocations are already where I want them to be. But I still want to go ahead and take advantage of cheap Bitcoin pricing. And as I said before, I don't believe that this Bitcoin bull market is over. I don't think we're at the top. I don't think we've peaked out or anything. And I think that there's still more room left to run. All right. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.